Oh, thanks, ambulance. Kick things off for us. So, I have not uploaded anything in a little minute now, which I apologize for the little hiatus. I have been working 7 days a week for multiple weeks in a row now. And this is the first little break I've actually had to come spend some time talking about my favorite subject of all. But just so everybody at home knows that these are empty. There's that, and we'll get into this. I have one person, maybe a couple of people actually, ask me how I felt comparison-wise about the Glock 19 versus the Walther PDP. And, well, this is not a standard Walther PDP, so this is going to be, in all honesty, if I wanted this to be a fair review of this, or comparison between the two, I'd have a 4-inch Walther PDP standard, and leave it at that. But, for the sake of this video, I'm going to use my PDP Pro, and just kind of go over some of the differences, things I like, things I dislike, and yeah, we'll do that. So, width-wise, I'm going to come around so you guys can see what I am seeing, but width-wise, the PDP is, oh, just triggered both my lights. The PDP is a slightly wider firearm. I'm gonna put these, kind of aim at the camera here a little bit, but the PDP has probably about 1/5 of an inch, maybe a centimeter difference. It may be less than that, but you know, just estimate that that's about the difference. The PDP is a slightly thicker firearm. The trigger in the PDP is a whole lot, miles and miles and miles better than a standard Glock trigger. Now, I will say, I've changed out the trigger shoe in my 19 to a Timney Gen 5 trigger shoe. I did not change the whole trigger assembly, spring weight, all that jazz, just the shoe. I like flat face triggers. They're more comfortable for me. I shoot them better. But you put a lot of rounds through a stock Glock trigger, you are going to get that spring weight down a bit. It's going to break in. It's going to become a better trigger. You are going to get more used to the trigger, and it will just kind of butter up to you a little bit better, for lack of a better way to put it. I actually think the Glock 19 is probably the perfect carry gun. As far as size, the way that it fits in my hand, it's just great. It's perfect. I have also been shooting a Glock 19 a whole lot longer than I have the PDP. The Glock does feel a bit more blocky, so leaning into that whole stereotype about Glocks, they're just, you know, Legos put together to form a firearm. Whereas the PDP is a bit more contoured to actually fit your hand. I mean, you're talking the grooves on the grip here, the undercut on the bottom of the trigger guard. I mean, it just feels so much better. And it does come, so does the Glock, by the way, it does come with some different back straps that you can put on here to really get it to fit your hand perfectly. And this thing fits like a glove. The Glock feels great, don't get me wrong, but the PDP is one of those firearms that is just, you can tell they spent a lot of time really perfecting this and wanting it to have the best possible fit in your hand that it possibly can. One issue I had with the PDP, and I covered this in the PDP Pro video I did, the standalone video, just talking about the gun in general. I did have a bit of a learning curve when it came to this firearm. And what I mean by that is whenever I would get to the last round of my mag, I would always send the slide home because of my grip. I grew up shooting Glocks. That was what I started with, trained on, constantly shot all the time. And in my mind, I thought, well, I never really need to learn anything else. Glock's a Glock. I know it's always going to work. Why would I get anything else? And then this sexy beast came onto the market and I had to have it. And it has been my carry gun ever since. But it did have a bit of a learning curve. Now, you can practice, you can train your way out of this. With my grip, I was just always, my thumb would ride right on top of this. When I would grip like that, I was just always holding it home. I had to really kind of transition my hand a little bit more to the left than I was comfortable with and get that purchase where my thumb was riding more so on the left side of my thumb than directly on it. But once I did that, it just, everything was smooth sailing from there. I never had that issue again. You know, this is more of a problem that pertains to me than it does to you guys. You know, if you, maybe you're suffering from this issue, maybe not. But that was one little minor thing that I had. The Glock 19, or any of the MOS models from Glock, are going to come with 4 different optics plates for you to choose from. The PDP, no matter what model you get, does not. You get a free voucher, which you can then redeem it with Walther, and they will send you 1 optic plate of your choice. You know, not a huge deal. They shipped it fairly quickly. I think it took like 5-6 days for them to get it to me. So, wasn't a huge ordeal. There are 2 different types of optics cuts, I believe, that Walthers came with. There was like the first generation that did not have any recoil bosses, or I can't remember the exact issue that they had, but your mounting plate would only have 2 little spots to interface with on the front, and that was really it. The newer generation of optics plates for these, they are meant to be a little bit more robust than the first generation, though I have not really came across anybody that could provide proof the first generation was a bad design. I'm sure it's out there. If you look hard enough, you can probably find it, but I never did. Either way, PDP has been wholly reliable for me ever since I fixed my issue with my grip. And the Glock has also been wholly reliable with me, no matter what. Even with just absolutely terrible ammunition, it has always been great. I'm going to do another little side-by-side comparison so you can see these from behind. But other little demo kinda of just the difference in width on these 2 firearms. You know, again, it is not a huge deal. It's not a huge change. You have just a tad bit more length on the PDP slide than you do the Glock 19. And it is not much. Now, of course, if you get the Pro model, you have a 4.6-inch threaded barrel on top of a 4-inch slide, for the compact at least. Let's see, what else? Both of these are very, very, very reliable handguns. I know I've already touched on that slightly, but I can't stress that enough. This is meant to be a comparison video, but if you purchase either of these, you're going to have an amazing, reliable carry gun. The Glock certainly has a lot better track record than the Walther, and that's only because the Walther has not been out as long as the Glock has. And there are not as many units of the Walther as there are Glock in law enforcement, military, countless contracts. Glock is known the world over for being reliable. I mean, there's a reason that it is one of the most popular handguns ever made. And in either case, I can't say you go wrong. I can't pick a winner here. I can say that personally, I carry this PDP Pro every day over the Glock 19, but I also can acknowledge the Walther does not have the same track record as Glock does. But I hope that answers some questions. If there's anything else you guys want to know, just comment down below. And I will try to read and reply to everything. There's been some on previous videos I made I've still got to get to, and I do apologize. Work has been crazy lately. That is why I have not uploaded in 4 weeks, 5 weeks now. It's just been insane. I liked my upload schedule of one a week prior to this, but again, life happens. It's just been crazy. But glad I got to sit down and actually make a video again. Certainly miss getting to discuss all this, my favorite hobby, with you guys. So I hope you're having an amazing weekend. Take it easy. Hit all the YouTube buttons if you feel like it. If not, oh well, all good. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.